Right, you can see where we're going in the distance over there, but I think I'm going to head that way because I think I'll be seen down there. Although I've made a massive mistake because I forgot to change into my exploring trainers, so these are probably going to get ruined. Right, I've made it into the woods next to the place we're going. Now my other concern now is I hope I can get through because there's a very big wall over there. I'm sure I can get through up there because I'm sure I saw it a minute ago, but I'm trying to stay away from the road so I don't get spotted, because this road you drive in and there's nothing further up there, so that's why I've moved the car so far away, so then it doesn't point to me coming here. Made a mistake putting this hoodie on now. I am sweating, but I just thought if I were going through brambles and stuff, it'd save me getting ripped to shreds, although my legs are ripped to shreds. Right, let me try and work this out. Right, luckily they appear to be using this hole in the wall as access to get into this bit, to clear it and cut down trees and stuff. They've left all their equipment in this bit as well, but that's because there's big gates over the other side of here, but there's no real proper way to get in this side. So I'm reckoning these buildings originally would have owned all this lot and now it's separate. Right, let's get in, get that hoodie off and work out the plan of action, because I've got to work out if I can even get in these buildings, because if I can't, I'm going to be devastated. Hi and welcome back to Finders Beepers History Seekers. Now this week I'm a bit scared because I'm in the middle of nowhere, but next... Shite. Right, so that alarm's gone off straight away. Right, I wanted to show you the outside of this place first, but as you can see, I've just set an alarm off. Now, I've walked all the way around the building once, but that camera is pointing towards some equipment. Now, if you watch the behind the scenes video, you'll see the field next to this, they're doing a load of work on it. They're cutting trees down and they're storing all the big equipment in the grounds of this place. So that camera's clearly been set up to stop people stealing equipment. I think it might not have, but we are in what can only be explained as an abbey and buildings with the abbey. Now, this place dates back to like the 1200s. There's been something here since 12th century, 1100s. Now, when I pulled up here earlier on, instantly there was an old woman in a car here. So I've got to be very careful because they're all watching. And I have a feeling my luck is running out for getting caught. I've been so close recently. But we're going to get looking around. Now, it is, I know it's in a bit of a mess, but the actual place is wonderful. It's got its own, like, abbey or the church. It's got a massive, huge building that we're in at the moment that is really grand. And then a couple, well, 4 or 5 really grand outbuildings as well. But I wanted to show you outside first because we're going to lose light soon. But I can't do that now. You're going to have to look round inside and then I'll see what I can do outside if I'm not caught first. Right, first of all, look at that for a fireplace. That's the first thing pretty much I've seen as I've walked in. This huge, huge fireplace with beautiful Victorian sort of era tiles. They're lovely, so nice. And then a big range. I've got to be careful. When I'm talking constantly, I can't hear what's going off outside. So I don't know if somebody's talking and walking round. Now there is going to be a lot of rooms like this, which are a bit devastated, but You'll see why it's worth it when you see the outside and some of the features in here as well. I don't know, I haven't had a chance to check if we can get in the church yet, but I'm hoping we can. Now, this place was seen to a massive massacre of Catholic, not nuns, what are they called? Priests? No, monks. Monks. Yeah, there was a huge massacre of Catholic monks in this place. I can't remember what year it was. I'll have to have a look in a minute for you, try and work out when it was. But basically, everybody in the area that was a Catholic was persecuted and cut down. And this place, every single person in there was killed. But in later years, they came back because it wasn't destroyed. The floor tiles are good as well. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm very, jumpy, trying to get sorted. So I came through this door here, and just behind there, I'll see if I can show you. So the camera is pointing over there, and you can sort of see there's big bits of machinery over there. So that's why. So that's what I need to avoid moving forward. If I stay close to the building, I should be fine when I'm outside. But I do love those tiles. I know I've said it before, but they're good. Right, on we go. Now, a lot of these rooms are really big, but what I will say is as well, a lot of the floors look really dodgy. So we're gonna have to be careful. Now this is the bottom of some of the stairs. Oh look, that's cool. I like the design on that. Now there is, like I said, there's going to be a lot of devastation. I think that may be the front door. I'm not sure if it is or not. We'll try and work it out in a bit. There's going to be lots of long corridors. There's going to be lots of decay and things that have been smashed by local kids and stuff. But there's also going to be gems of like the structure of the building, designs and all sorts. Now, I already knew before I got here that this was going to be one of the most dangerous explores I've done for a while, which, it's worth it coming to these ones, because I think they're on their last legs. They've got that last bit of history to show you, but it's not going to be long before they're gone for good. And somewhere like this, a complex like this, it's not just one building, is just such a shame to lose it. It really is. Look, huge big fire. Look, for a start, let's start looking at this. The devastation. The magazine. But yeah, plaster and ceiling coming off. But then if you look at the details, look up close. Look at that. That's beautiful. What a wonderful fireplace that is. It's huge as well. Just to give you an idea, my shoulder, I think, comes up to there. Let me have a look. So we're talking, I'm not actually stood, that's my shoulder. So we're talking about maybe 5 foot, just under 5 foot. And then the rest of it is way up there. It's huge. And you can see down on the floor, you've got the old parquet flooring. Although, that looks like concrete underneath. So I'm wondering if they've redone this floor at some point. It's one of those, it's quite hard sometimes. God, this is awkward. It's hard to tell where things have been redone. Like these tiles, look, it's down into the ground. So you're pretty much sure that a lot of these bits have been here for a long time. But then you get that with concrete underneath it and you think, well, it must have been redone at some point. So anyway, let's see, I don't remember this bit, although I must have been here. Oh yeah, that's the direction I've come from. I've not been anywhere near these buildings. So we'll come back to those in a bit. But you can see it's been used up until maybe the 60s or 70s. I couldn't find actually when it was that it stopped being used, but looking at the stuff in here, I would say 60s or 70s based on the wallpaper and the furniture. I know that's not a furniture, but you know what I mean. Right, I've just looked, and actually, The monks were killed here twice. They were massacred here twice. The first time was in 1560 through to 1590, so 30 years of just ravagement, and that happened here. And also during the War of Independence, basically where they rose up against the king and the Catholic Church at the same time, and that was in the 1700s, so really like late 1700s. It's not that long ago. Well, it's 300 years or 250 years, but still, it's not that long. Can you imagine it? Imagine people coming in and with swords and just murdering them all. And this is why I was saying in the last place I went to, that was an abbey, which was last week's video, which I didn't want to do an abbey and then an abbey, but I've had no choice. They had to fight back. Like the monks that went against the Vikings in Britain just got on their knees and let them kill them. The ones in France fought back, and they fought well, apparently. But can you imagine it happening on these grounds? Scary. Now I'm just trying to work out, is this one of those things you wash your clothes in? Or is it one of these, is it a boiler? I don't know what it says. It won't shut. Wait a minute. I can't quite see. I don't know if it's a boiler or a wash thing. Look, hot. Is it hot and cold? So it makes me think it's to wash clothes, but it could be a boiler, I suppose, as well, because you need hot and cold for that. Right, this has brought us back round, I think. Yeah, that's the door we came through there. So we need to make our way in a different direction, obviously. Now you'll notice a different style of how I work. Like, oh, that was me. And this proves my point. So when I think I'm going to get caught, I feel like I'm not as good. Like, I feel like I don't flow as well. I don't talk as well. I'm fast. I speed up, and I miss things out, and I forget because I'm also listening, thinking. And I feel like I'm like that now. If I'd not set that alarm off, I think I would have been fine. But I don't think anyone's coming. And if they are, it's big enough to just hide away somewhere in this place. But if they bring the police dogs, then I'm in trouble. Right, yeah, so we're back at the bottom of these stairs. I don't know where is the best place to go, because we've just been to there. So I'm guessing down this corridor. Although I don't like the look of the floors. I wonder if it's got a cellar, this place. That moves a lot. Also, I forgot to change my shoes. So I've got my non-exploring trainers on, which is just not a good thing when it's so dusty in here. Right. I feel like we're going to have a lot of issues with empty rooms. It's not so bad when they've got amazing fireplaces, but when they've been ripped out, not quite as good. But I like the story. Like, I don't think a building should be ignored because things have gone out of it and it's decayed. I often think like, this needs its storytelling just as much as one that's got stuff in it, which actually almost is too, I don't know, too up to date. This is old. This is a really old building, and it needs its storytelling before it's gone. Especially when you can still see the remnants of like something special. Like, what was on there? Was it a big mirror? Or was it a painting? And if so, was it Jesus? Because of obviously it being a Christian place. I don't know. Like, there are certain things that you can still see of how grand it would have been. Now, I've just spent 5 minutes stood outside, because this is the back of the place, thinking, shall I climb in through here or not? And I'm glad I didn't, because I just went through a door. It were a lot easier. It's something that me and Andy, especially me, have done far too many times, where you rush to get in a building and you just go through the first thing you see, and that is a prime example of it. Like, it looks easy to get in, but that probably comes up to my shoulders, and there's a lip that sticks out, so you have to go right round and over, and it's awkward. Now, one thing I will say is, that's the back of the building. That's the front of the building. It's not very wide. It's about the same as like my old house when I lived in a terrace house. It's not very wide at all. It's ridiculously long, but it's not very wide. I'm surprised about that. Especially with how grand it is outside, and I can't wait to show you the outside because it is really, really good. But it's a bit weird. Now, I was just looking at this door, thinking it's material. Oh, it's material and full of horsehair, or maybe even human hair. That don't look like horsehair. But anyway, I'm thinking the only time I've seen something like this before is when I went to that big place in France that had a church inside the building. Now, we know there's not going to be a church in here because there's one just outside. But look at what's around this corner. So you went through this big soft door, which is so strange. You came through and this would have been the main entrance here. That's your main doors there, look. But then look at this. Look at it. You would have had, I'm going to zoom out, you would have had like Mary or Jesus there, the same at that side there. And then look at this staircase. Is that not, I've got to be careful because I can't see where I'm standing. Is that not wonderful? That's your back door in. Your front door is right there. And then you've got these wonderful pillars. Now, they're not granite, not plaster. That's painted. They're made to look really expensive, but they weren't at all. I'm guessing they're made out of like sandstone. That's what it feels like. Looking at the bottom of it, or maybe even concrete of some sort. I don't know if there's paintings on the bottom as well. But regardless, I can't even stand far enough back. Just give me a minute. Sorry, I've just spun around really fast and made everyone be sick. One sec. Yeah, look at that for an entranceway. How wonderful is that? I love it, and especially when they'd been there as well. And it looks like there'd been some sort of good ceiling on there. So I'll have to go upstairs in a bit. However, I don't think we'll be going up these stairs because they're looking a bit rough. That's good though, look. It's got all the flowers around the edge. Oh, I proper love spiral staircases, but this one's like a wide, open spiral staircase. It's amazing. I love it so much. So yeah, going back to the conversation about, oh, don't go in these buildings with empty rooms. Why? Why? When they've got so much history and so much to give, hidden away. People probably come and take photos of the outside of this place and never think about coming inside. And it's ridiculous because they're wonderful. And I've got more stories to tell you yet as well. Right, I've just found the full history of this place. Now, there's too much to tell you everything about, but the first thing I'll tell you is there was abbots in this place from 1120 or 1160 all the way through to 1560, which I told you that's when they all got murdered the first time. And they were all absolutely decimated, and it says parts of the building was ruined with their bodies. What that actually means, I've had to translate this from French, so it's quite hard, but parts of the building were ruined with their bodies. That's what it says. And although this building we're in at the moment was built in the 1700s, the second time, and I'll explain more about that in a minute, the second time they were all killed, the first time they were all killed, the last abbot in charge took over when he was 10 years old. He was the nephew of the previous abbot, and he took charge when he was 10 and stayed abbot until he was 27. Now look at this. Oh, it's where, oh look. Looky look. Now, this is something else we can talk about, actually. I'm guessing these people here are from the college. Now, there was a college on the grounds of this place until a fire. Although, when was the fire? I can't remember when the fire was. But yeah, there was a college here. And a lot of the records about this place were lost as a result of that fire. So they don't know everything about it. I've got to be careful because I don't want to show the name of this place. Oh God, I don't know. Like if they are anything to do with here, or if it's somewhere else. I'm pretty sure that these aren't here, because if they are, I'm going to be rather excited. No, they're definitely not here. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of religious things. Oh, that's about a mosque as well. You'd be surprised, actually. A lot of religious people do study other religions. So you get a lot of people today that claim to be religious, but then disregard all other religions. But there's a lot of crossover in them. So, for example, like Islam and Muslims, they believe that Jesus existed, but was just a prophet for Muhammad. Whereas other people and other religions definitely overlap, and there's different names for the same gods and stuff. It's all very interesting. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very, very divisive. It can cause a lot of arguments, and I tend not to bring any details of other religions and religions in general to any of my videos. And the reason for that is because it causes people in the comments to say nasty things that aren't needed. Like, just get on with everybody. There's always going to be idiots in every religion, and whether that be Christian, Islam, Jewish, anything, people are dicks, just in general. It doesn't matter what religion you are, people are dicks. So yeah, I tend not to bring religion into stuff. However, I think you can have an opinion on stuff if you know what you're talking about, and most of the people that have an opinion know fuck all. Anyway, I'm going to shut up about religion now. Although it is hard when you're in a religious building not to talk about religion at all. Now, if you look in here, look, there's lots and lots of documents, all looking like maybe like from the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. I think that, oh yeah, that says Expo 92, I think there. Yeah, Expo 92. So the reason for that was there was a lot of the buildings used by stuff to do with the college and small businesses up until the 90s, based on what I've just read. However, all the good stuff happened well before that. Like the building we're in at the moment was built in the 1700s, and it was built by the Lord. He's not a lord, he's something else, but I can't think off the top of my head what he were. But he was like a lord, like the local lord, who was given this land when the Catholics were slaughtered. His men came and killed the Catholics, and it was written in, they were given a certain amount of time to leave, and if they didn't leave, which they didn't, it said that they could be hunted down and put in prison, and then if they were to be found on religious grounds, which this is, they would be slaughtered where they were found. And that's what happened in the 1700s. And then this building was built for the guy that moved in here. He was like, right, this is my land now, I'm going to build myself a big house. Now, there was Catholics in here after that, but not in the same sense. Not with, like I said, the abbots stopped in the 1500s, but then this land was given back in the early 1600s, and compensation. The Catholic Church made the current leader compensate the the monks and gave them loads of money, and then they did the same again in the early 1800s. It's all really complicated, but really interesting. Now, I've got to say, this is one of the most, oh God, there's stuff on there. This would have been quite an impressive little toilet, coming in with all these, because it's material. It's not wallpaper, it's material hung on the wall. And coming for a little poo in here, you would feel quite regal, I think. But yeah, like I was saying, I just think that it's, it's hard to keep track on where you are with this history, because it was like the people in charge changed. I suppose it's only like English history with maybe Charles I, because they were Catholic, and then it went to Protestant, and then back to Catholic, and Henry VIII changed it from Catholic to Protestant, and whoever was on the wrong side of the king ended up getting shit on, basically. So that's what's happened here. It's like, it's owned by the monks for like 400, 500 years. Oh no, not now, it's ours, it belongs to the people. No, now we're giving it back to the monks. No, we're taking it back off them again. So I can explain it as in like 1700 this happened and 1500 this happened. It's a lot easier if you think it were theirs, then it weren't, then it was, then it weren't, and now it's not. I am still overly impressed by that though. I'm sort of, I don't know why I'm like, I'm getting confused, because I'm thinking, oh, well, the monks, I'm surprised the monks did something so grand, but it wasn't the monks, it was the Lord after the monks had been killed. So that's why it was so grand. It was in the French sort of style, I suppose, of the time. Look at that. That's come from somewhere and it looks bloody heavy. Oh, I've not noticed that. That's off the roof, I think. I can't walk properly. Is that stone? Wow. I could only just move that. So where the hell has that come from? That snapped off something. Bloody hell, imagine that landing on your head. Well, you wouldn't have an head. Your head would go. You just have that for an head. Imagine walking around with that for an head. You look right, dickhead. I think that kind of explains why it looks showy, but it's not really now. Because the Lord might not have had that much money, but he was given all this land and wanted to do something with it. So he put all the money into making the place look showy, and you'll see that outside, but didn't really make it that great inside. Like size-wise, it's small. It's really, really, just to give you an idea, let's stride this out if I can. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 paces. So you'd take a free kick from here. And the people would have to stand over there in the wall. But no, it's not very big, is it? Really not. It shocked me, really, that. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this to you or on the behind the scenes video, but 5 days ago, this place, hang on. Oh, it's a motorbike. There's a big road not far, like over the hill. But yeah, 5 days ago, this place was full of people. And I mean, absolutely rammed with people. Because, it goes up further than I thought that. Because they found some archaeological stuff on the grounds. There's been some amateur metal detectorists that's found something. So they've had loads of people down here and they've made it into a bit of a celebration. So if you look online, if you work out where I am, look online, you'll see loads of photos have been added recently, and that's why. Also looks like they've shored up some of the buildings because there's like supports on stuff. So that's good. I hope they do save this place because it's got some proper good history, like meaty history, like murder and like people taking it and giving it back. Now, something else has just come to mind. Oh, Lord. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, something else has just come to mind that I've just read. So up the hill from here was a spring. I'm gonna have to read it again, I think. There was some sort of waterway from the top of the hill behind this place. Let's see if I can show you out this window. Not really, that's where we came in that way. Yeah, up behind here, it runs downhill from the vineyards. And somehow they rerouted, I'm gonna have to read all this again and tell you again, but they rerouted the flow of wine from the vineyards where they've been making the wine straight down to one of the water pumps down here through underground tunnels. And there was wine coming out of where the water should be coming out for like days and days on end. Imagine that, everybody would be bladdered. Now, I wasn't sure who'd done it. I've just stopped the filming just to have a look. I wasn't sure who it was. I thought it might have been the Lord, but it was the monks. The bleeding monks in 1839. So really, not that long ago, 200 years, they used some ducts, that's what it says, and redirected the wine to come straight down to the town. Now, I don't know whether it was the locals that got to drink it or if it was just the monks or what, but imagine having days and days of free wine. That'd be so good. Now, I turned my torch around then because there was a noise from in here, but look at that bath. I've got to be careful because this floor looks absolutely fucked over there. It drops down where it's wet there. From the corner of this, drops down into that middle bit. So I need to be really careful. But yeah, that bath is really deep. Really, really deep. I want to get closer because there's oh dear. No. There's writing on the side of it. I'm trying to work out what it said. Just a minute. Max CC. Well, that weren't worth seeing, were it? But yeah, it's a deep bath, that. And it doesn't appear to have taps on it, so you probably would have had to fill it up yourself. So it's an old style bath. Right, where do we go from here? They're the stairs we've just come up, and you can go up again. I just want to try, the same room we've just been in. I want to try and show you out of a window so you can see some of these buildings. This floor feels like I'm on a ship. Feels like it's moving. So you can see some of these buildings before the light goes, but I don't want to go outside until we've seen everywhere in here either. So it's a bit awkward. There's not very much in these rooms anyway. That's a big room. That's a big bedroom. I was going to say, was it 2 bedrooms at one point? But I don't think it was. So, what is that? I think it's just part of the ceiling or something. I feel like this was the head monk's room because it's massive and there's a big paint where there should be a painting on the wall there. But we worked out that Mother Superior was the head nun. But what's a head monk? I know there's the abbot, but there was no abbots after 1500s, but there was monks here to the 1800s, or maybe later, slightly later. But either way, what are they called? Right, oh God, there's glass all over the floor. I might be able to show you part of the building in the church. Wait a minute. I don't know if I can open this shutter. Oh, I can. So there is the church. And like I said, they've been here 5 days ago. So I don't know what that tent's for, but the other one's where they've been digging. Now this is the building we're in. This is the front of the building we're in. So look how grand that is. This place has been here since the 1700s. That one down there, I think, was the college. It was burnt down and that one's got no roof. So that one makes me think that it was the college. So you've got church, main building, which we can't have covered all of it because we've not walked all the way along the top of here. And then there's more buildings around this corner, which I can't really show you. I don't know if we can get in there or not. I hope we can, but I'm not sure if we can. But we're going to look around at everything. Right, so I've just found out that the original monks, there was only 12 of them, were the Cistercian monks. Now, I have heard a word similar to that before, like Sistine monks, but this is definitely Cistercian, which is, I'm guessing, slightly different. But this place was part of a pilgrimage. So people made their way from England, from all over France, and down into Spain from here. Now, below us is Lourdes, or however you want to say it. My dad was telling me I was saying it the wrong way the other day, but it's Lourdes. And it's pretty much directly below us in the country. So I'm presuming they would have carried on to there. But it also said they made their way into Spain on this pilgrimage. But the reason they came here, because the original abbey, because obviously that church was built later, I think maybe 1600s, 1700s, but part of the original abbey is still here. And the original abbey held 2 relics. Now, believe this as much as you like. Some people will, some people won't. Don't make a difference to me. But they claimed to have a nail out of Jesus's hand, and also the pliers that pulled the nail out of Jesus's hand. Now, they were kept here, and people came thousands, hundreds and thousands of miles, not hundreds of thousands of miles, hundreds and thousands of miles to come and visit this place to, what the fuck? I think it was just part of the wall falling off. I thought the ceiling were going, oh no, it's from above. It fell from above. Fucking hell, that scared me. Jesus Christ. I thought the floor were going underneath me then, but it weren't. It came from behind this dory. But yeah, they'd make a pilgrimage hundreds and thousands of miles to come and see these 2 relics. Don't know where they are now, but that's what it says on the history things that I've been looking at. I want to tell you this before I forget it. It was the pilgrimage of Santiago del Costella? That's probably miles off how you say it, but that's what it says. It was Santiago del Costella. Oh my God, the story of this place gets better and better. So, in 1500, when they outlawed the monks and they said they got 2 months to get out of there, and if they didn't, they'd be slaughtered. Some of them stayed here, like I said, and got slaughtered. But some of them went out onto the roads and acted like highwaymen, it says. Acting like highwaymen, stealing from people, like killing people passing by and taking their money and their food. And also, and this is a mental amount of money, if you were caught harbouring any of the monks in your house, you could be fined up to £2,000. £2,000 is mental back then. 1500s, what's that? A million, billion, gajillion pounds? It's ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, if you were a monk, you were fecked. You either had to go probably to Italy, I would have thought. You'd have to make your way back to Italy and go and find the Pope and go, oh, I've got nowhere to live. Or you'd have to fight it out like these guys did. Man, mental that. I just think it's crazy. I wonder if that's where like Friar Tuck comes from, walking the streets. Like, because the story of Robin Hood, he joined in with the bandits, didn't he? And he walked around the forest like a highwayman. So I wonder if that's where that's come from. Now I'm a bit worried about this bit because I've seen what the ceilings are like downstairs, and I'm a bit concerned because it feels weird in here as well. Like, hard to explain. Big bath. Hard to explain what I mean, but it's like when it's an enclosed space, it feels different round you. Big bath there. Let's have a look out this window. Oh, I don't like this. Floor feels weird. Floor feels really weird. Right, so this is the back of the place. You've not really seen out here. Oh, and it's got... So we came from... Look at the sky. We came from the other side of there, over that wall. But then there's a big pond there. I think there's another one up that side. There'd be fishing ponds or something for the monks to catch the fish. Because they did all sorts. They were so self-sufficient. But look at that. What a beautiful evening. But like I said, it's going to be quite dark soon, so it's going to be hard to show you. Right, so the first guy that killed all the monks... Oh, that's another one of those padded doors. Was called Jean-Claude de Pons, Lord of Plassac. Pretty sure that was what he was called. And he was the one that finished off the last of the monks here. He chased a couple away, but most of them got murdered on these grounds. And then he took over this place. But I think he was the guy that had to give a load of stuff back. I'll have a look in a second. God, I can't get through this door, it's that small. I don't know what... Would this have been a bathroom? Ensuite, like little bathroom? Feel like it would. I am a little bit disappointed because there's not quite as much in this building as I would have expected. However, I think the stories of this place really make up for it. And the sky definitely does. I've just read it. I've just read what he had to give back, and he did. So he had to give back £13,000, or the equivalent. Well, it would have been £13,000, but French, so francs. And basically, he had to, as a gesture of goodwill. Now, he took this place in 1580 something. However, he gave it back in 1615. So what's that, like 25, 40 years later? I don't know if it was the same duke, but basically he had to give it back, plus 13 grand, plus he had to build them the college that went on it as well. So there's been a college here since the 1600s, and that's the one that burnt down. But that's mad. Imagine being ordered to take it, go and kill all the monks, and have it for yourself, and then ordered to give it back 40 years later. I think that's mad. Yeah, there's lots of little bedrooms, which make me think it's maybe like, I keep thinking it's for monks, this building, and it's not. It is not. Although they probably did use it, thinking about it, because they were in the 1800s and this was built in the 1700s. But it wasn't built by them, so it will have just been used like to the best of their ability. Oh my lord. Oh my lordy lord. That is bad. I definitely shouldn't carry on walking. I definitely shouldn't carry on going through here. I definitely shouldn't. Oh, there's more stairs here. This is where the rumble of the rocks come from above my head. Oh, look. That little balcony bit there. Oh, what a shame. That hurts me. What a shame. Oh, this is that spiral staircase that's fooked. Yeah, the bit we couldn't get up. Oh, it creaked then when I leaned on that. That is not good. Yeah, look. This is so dangerous. I told you. Right, look, this is the bit over here. I can show you a bit better now. Can I? Don't know what the floor's like underneath this. Right, that courtyard up there is where they've been doing digging. And I don't know if that's the college actually on the left-hand side. Although that's a big door, that looks more like stables. So, right, I'm getting back off this bit before it goes through. And we'll carry on this way. Right, as this place looks like they might be going to do something to it, I might do what I did the other week and put the link in for this place so you can read some of the history yourself and you can see I don't make this stuff up. I think sometimes the stories are that far-fetched that it seems like I'm making, like some explorers do. They'll be like, 17 people were murdered in this place and buried under the land. There's so many different links for this building. I'll just put the normal Wikipedia in and you can read the basic facts for the place. But if you actually look deeper, you'll find loads of stories and loads of stuff that goes with it that's really cool. But there's just far too much information to give you. That's why I'm going to do that. Not so you can come here and explore it, because hopefully it'll be getting done up and you won't like be able to. But it gives you an idea of a bit more history to the place. And like I said, it's not very often I do that, but I will, I think, for this. Also, you'll never believe the last person to live here was in the 1990s, and it was a farmer that owns the field next door. That's crazy. There's not very much on this floor left now. There's some big grand fireplaces, and I always tell you, if I think a place is going to be a bit bare, I'll tell you it's going to be bare, unless I don't know. But I will only come to somewhere. Oh, it's just a random bath in here. I'll only come somewhere if I think it's going to be worthwhile coming to for the history side of things, because it's not just about a building, it's about the history and everything else that goes with it. Look how quickly that's changed outside. It's going to be dark very, very soon. Oh, hidden door through to a little ensuite bathroom. That's where the baths come from. They've probably put it there to save it, to be fair. But we'll head up onto the top floor and then we'll go and look at the other buildings. Although I feel like somebody's been pulling this bath round and around the room. Look at the marks on the floor. What's been going on? Unless it's been doing it itself. It's been like possessed by something and whizzing around the room. Crazy. Right, let's get up to that top floor. Right, I've got a choice. Do I try going back through this way under the terrible, terrible rock fall and the floor that's going through and go up the stairs up there? Or do I go up these stairs and risk death by broken stairs? Like, it feels pretty sound around the edge here. I felt like I was falling then. Like, it feels pretty sound, but I don't know about there. I'm not sure. I think for a change, I'm not going to go up the stairs. I'm going to go this way, because although this is dangerous as fook, I still think that's worse. I see the church out of there. We'll try and find parts of the original Abbey as well if we can, because I know there are still parts here from the 1100s. Oh, we're all right. Oh, there we go. Right, let's head to the end and get up to the other steps. These definitely feel a bit more sound than the ones we were going up before. Still feel like I need to lean against the wall though, because they're creaking. It's not great. Oh my lord, it's going to be bad in here. Oh, there's another toilet with a window to look out of here. They all seem to be above each other. I suppose it's the plumbing. That's where you put the plumbing. Now there's some older looking buildings down there, or walls and stuff. These look really old, some of these. Whereas the big impressive looking buildings are from the 1700s. But I think some of the smaller buildings are probably a lot earlier. Oh God, all the floors feel bad. Oh, the bat. Now, I'm not scared of bats. I know it seems like I am, but I'm actually just, I don't want them to fly into my face. But the thing is, it's irrational because bats use sonar and are not going to fly into your face. There were only that poorly one that time that flew into my hand and cut me that were weird. That, yeah, see, there's nothing down here. Let's have a look out of this window. I think this, I don't know where this is. Oh, yeah, that's where we came in. The alarms, the monitor thing's directly below us. So we need to keep away from that. Now earlier on, when I first got here, I parked up right outside the gates that you've probably just seen, but I'll show you again in a bit. And literally within about a minute of me doing that, an old woman came and pulled up next to me and just stared at me. So I went and got a drink of water out the back of the car, got back in the car and drove off. And she weren't there when I came back. But this place was given, I think it was in the 1990s, was given to the village. So the village collectively own this place now. The people own it, which I think is quite good. So that's probably why it's getting saved. Or if it's getting saved, because they'll want to. They don't want it all falling down next door to their house. They want it to be nice and an attraction, probably. Oh, this, oh Lord. I walked across that thinking, oh, that's dodgy. Not noticed that the whole floor is disappearing down there. I'm going to have to be really careful up this bit. Really, really careful. Look at the, oh, I don't like this. I could feel it bowing under my feet. And the thing is, somebody else has caused that by standing on it at some point. So it only takes me to do the same, and I'm down there. But I still need to get up there and have a look. Don't like this. Don't like this. Like, there's not gonna, I bet you there's nothing to look at up here. Absolutely nothing. You know what it's like in the attics and stuff. It's only in small houses you generally find stuff in attics. But oh, that were an horrible noise I made then. That were like some sort of sex wee noise. But I need to get up here, but I am scared for my safety. It's a bit of a catch-22, innit? Oh, so this is the top of the spiral staircase here. Don't go any closer. There we go. But pretty sure I can see some more steps up at the end up here. Or something. Oh no, maybe I can't. I think it's just a beam that's fallen down. Oh, it's all been smashed up in here. That has been added extra at some point, that middle bit, so it looks like they've smashed it out to make it the original room. But as soon as we've got this bit done, we're out of here. Yeah, look, they're smashing all the interior walls out by the looks of things that have been added. Look at the old beams. Yeah, I think this is it. I think we've seen all of this building, so we need to get out to look at some of the other stuff out there. Right, I'm back at the door. Sure I can hear voices. The only thing is, I don't know. Oh, I opened the door the wrong way when I came in, but I can't remember where the camera was. I know it was pointing at the stuff over there, but was it round that corner? Or was it above me? No, it's not above me. Right, so we'll go around the back of the building, avoiding that camera altogether, because it's round there. But look how dark it's got. In no time at all. Moon's out up there, look. Wow. Right, so this is one of the buildings that I said I thought looked a lot older. I don't know what any of the uses for any of these buildings are. They probably... Oh, see the camera? I better not go to there, because it's going to see me. But I reckon a lot of these are storage rooms. I can't even... Oh, I can look in. Oh, see, it wasn't even worth going in anyway. It's just a big empty space. But like I said, I feel like this bit's a lot older. So we'll head around the back. Now you can see here, look, this building, I was going to say this building was attached to another part that came out here, but actually I don't think it was. I just think the building's falling down. It looked like it was, but I think it's just broken. Now I'm really scared I'm going to get spotted, because obviously big bright torch, I need to shine on these buildings. But anybody round here, that's the moon, anyone round here is going to see it from a mile off. Now I'm alright at the moment because I'm at the back of the building, so I'm not likely to be seen. But when we get around the front, the more important bit, that's where I am going to be seen. Look at the length of this place. But think how deep it is. This is the bit that was like 10 strides deep. And you wouldn't think it looking at it from the outside at all. So deceiving. Now the ponds and stuff are off to my right, but I'm not going to go wandering around in the dark looking for things like that. I don't think I want to see a pond anyway, but I'll miss all, if there is anything good to see, I'll miss it all anyway because it's too dark. Right, so we're at the centre of the building now, and this is where, God, look at that, just look when you zoom out. It just looks really cool. Obviously the sun's just gone down, but yeah, that's where the bottom of the spiral staircase is, where that big piece of masonry was that I moved with my foot. That's behind that door. And then the spiral staircase goes up there. There's another what looks like a camera there, but it's turned off. Yeah, that's a camera, but it's turned off, so that's okay. But yeah, look. So all this lot is from the 1700s. After, it's crazy to think this building was built by a man that had just slaughtered a load of monks. I just think it's mad. Look at the designs where the handles used to be and stuff. They've been rewarded for killing monks. I just think that is bizarre. Now, it did say how many hectares or whatever he was... Ducks. How many hectares or whatever he was given, but I can't remember. Now, you remember I said I was going to climb through a window? This is that window. Now, if you look, my shoulder comes to there. There's a lip. Well, you can put your foot on there, and it is easy enough, but when things like this are rotten, you don't know what you're climbing into. There's broken glass. I'm glad I waited and didn't... Can you stop being a little dick? It's a bit freaky when birds are making those noises at you. Right, I think this was the college, but I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. Now, things have changed on here, look. There's windows being blocked up and stuff. And this building definitely did extend further this way, look, because you can see the blocks that have been stuck off the end. So this building probably went and joined onto that maybe, or I don't know. It does seem strange how that's been done. And there were lean-to, look. You can see the diagonal roof there coming down. Now this, I know there's no point going in because, look, it is just a huge empty area. I don't know if this was the college. It doesn't seem right to be a college. It looks more like a barn. But look at that being held up by a tree. I am not stepping foot in there at all. But it does, I love looking at these places and trying to research and trying to work out what was used for what, and who used it and why. I think it's so good. And I think it probably is better for me when I'm here trying to work out what's what, because I get the layout in my head. This is why whenever I do videos, I say to you, right, we've come back to here and now we're going there. And the reason I'm doing it is so you can get a picture in your head of where we are, because so many explorers, and I'm not knocking them, everybody's got a different style. I always get told off for this when I say things like this, but they'll just go somewhere in the building and they'll not give you a clue where it is. Like, some people film something and then they'll swap all the bits round so you get the best bits at a certain point in the video, and I just think it messes with your head. Like, I would much rather know the layout of the building and what it looks like, because then I can picture what it would have been like back in the day. But everyone's different. Like I said, people do things for different reasons. That moon looks so cool. But yeah, this bit that's been cut off, it might have only extended a little bit because it's like a lean-to roof. That's that toilet that I said was really grand. Oh, and this is the main entrance into whatever this may have been. Now, there is something up there, but I can't work out what it is. I'm not sure. My battery on my torch is on 1% though, and it's flashing at me. So I'm gonna have to change that in a minute, I think. But yeah, big grand doors if it's just a barn. Does seem a bit strange, doesn't it? It's a very grand building for just a barn. Don't seem right to me. And then we've got the front of the main house. Now, if there's anybody knocking about, they will see my light on the front of the house. We'll go down to the end bit of it in a minute. I've just got to be careful there's no other cameras, because when I'm looking at a way to get in, I tend to stick to the edges, obviously to try the windows, try the doors, so the cameras often miss you. But when you're looking around the building and actually looking at the building, the cameras can pick you up. So that's when you set them off. And that's exactly what I did a minute ago over there. But just looking back at this building behind us, there's something up there. There was some religious things in there and big doors. It looks very sort of Roman or Greek. It's not a barn, is it? Let's be right. But it does look like one inside. And you've got a big jardiniere or whatever there. It's got a nice sheen to it, that. I think that's quite old. Yeah, we'll go over there in a minute. Let's go to the church. I've not been anywhere near this church, and I'm a little bit concerned there may be cameras on the church, because I think this is what they'd want to... Something reflective over there, look. Yeah, this is what they'd want to protect. Car. It's alright, they've gone straight past. But like I said to you before, there's only a couple of houses further up there. Oh, the thing we could see that was reflecting is a road sign. So I don't need to walk over there to find out what it was. Right, they've gone. Yeah, look. This is the side of that building. It's got a weird little side door. Very old looking windows on it as well. That almost looks like what? Like a little pool. What the heck is this? What is that for? Very strange. Actually goes on a lot further than I realised as well. Right, let's go and have a look at this. Now looking on here, there was a wall that extended out here as well. There's a little side door, which has clearly been replaced at some point. There was something else here, look, as well. Like a lean-to, or some other part of the building. Now this is definitely going to be locked. It's a door from the last 100 years, that. It's not really, really old. Yeah, there's like an archway bit there. So, I don't know. I like to look for the original purpose for things. There's another massive building there as well, opposite the church. And this is the bit up here where the tents are. But we are really close to the road and the front gate up here. So we've got to be dead careful. I don't think for 1 second we're going to be able to get in here. But you just never know. You just never know. Just twisted my ankle. But yeah, it's quite a basic looking church. Now I know that some of the stones from the original Abbey were used to build this place. That's an owl. Bleeding loud one. So I just wonder if some of these base stones, the first ones they used, the ones that have maybe got a bit more pattern on them and design on them, are the original ones. And then the very basic ones were added later. And look at the weathering on some of these as well. It's crazy. Been there a long time. Please be open, please be open. It's not going to be. Oh, wait. No. It felt like it was. I think there's something at the bottom blocking it. That's a shame. Right, well, I can't get in. I've tried to give it another good push because I thought it might just be something lodged, making it harder to open, but I'm not going to force a church door, or any door for that matter. But what is below my feet is amazing. So what I thought at first was, oh, is this just like a grave, just a normal gravestone? Then I noticed next to it, can you see this? The head, the body. For a start, they'd have to be a very small person. Yeah, if you look here, that's where the head would have gone, and the body down to there. And the same with this one next. Sorry, I've got my wire because my battery's about to go. Same there, look. Head, shoulders. So these are old, really, really, really old burial sites. Sort of like the coffin of the day. Your body would have been put into there and then sealed up with another stone on top, because they wouldn't have had wooden coffins. But it makes me think, is this one of those with something underneath it? It definitely feels like it could be. These are the original ones. Like, oh God, some thing trying to get me. It's a bee or something. Likes the light. And there's another one here, look, as well. Right, but the thing is, this is the bit that confuses me. Ah! Get off me! It's getting me because of the light. Right, this is the bit that confuses me, right? Look, this stone is built into the foundations of this church. Oh, it's a bee, look, it's there. That's what was trying to get me, a bee. It's built into the foundations of the church and then across like that with the body bit still in it. So it wasn't to be buried deep underground. It was pretty much on the surface with then a tombstone over the top of it. Now, that is crazy good, because that probably means that these are from the original Abbey, from like anything between 1100 and 1500. And they would have had bodies in them, and they've obviously been looted at some point, because the Duke that came looted everything. He took all the money out of the church. But there could be a body underneath here. There could be hundreds more underneath this floor. And that's definitely, they've all definitely been put here. Now, the only thing that confuses me about it is this. Christian burials are always lined up the same way. I think your head pointing towards the south or Jerusalem or something like that. And these aren't like that. They're all like one way and two, three other way. Why do you think gravestones are always facing the same way? That's why, because they all point towards the same place. So I think it's strange that they're like, some are left to right, some are up and down. It's just a bit odd, isn't it? But these ones may have been moved, but the one that's at the base of the church definitely is original and has always been there since a long time ago. Like this church itself has been here since the 1600s, I think, or 1700s, 16 or 1700s. So they're at least from then. However, I genuinely think they're older, purely because of where that's placed. You wouldn't put a grave there, would you? Like, maybe inside the church. This bee is gonna kill me in a minute. It's coming for my blood. Yeah, you'd either put it in the church or in the graveyard, but to put it there makes me think it's from a lot longer before. Anyway, we'll go and have a look around the side, because you never know, there might be another way in. Now, what I would say is it's a very plain church. To say it's a Catholic church, there's no real, I don't know, nothing about it, is there? Nothing exciting about it. No, like, I don't know, standout features. It's just got a couple of windows and that's about it. Almost fell over then. But yeah, I wonder if they've been uncovering these graves and that's why they're doing the dig. That could be the reason why they're doing it. That would make sense. Now, I was hoping there was going to be another door at the back of this church, but there isn't. But I was thinking, this feels like a graveyard, this bit to the side. A big empty space running up to the wall over there. It feels like it should be a graveyard. There is something over here as well. I don't know what that is. We'll go and have a quick look and then we'll look at that last building and we'll get out of here. It's a well, big square well, which is cool. Good job I've got my torch on, because I probably would have tripped and fallen over the edge of that. But I bet there's all sorts. Oh, there goes the torch. I better change that before I trip and fall. But yeah, it just makes me wonder what's hidden away. Like, I keep seeing things and thinking, oh, is that, like, for example, there. I thought it was a cross at first, but it's a plant. But I bet, yeah, in these grounds, there's all sorts of stuff. And that what I would do to get my metal detector out on here, wow, I bet there's some amazing things. Coins from all, if there's people come on pilgrimages, coins from all different countries all over the world coming here. And like religious stuff, it'd be brilliant. And now we've got, so the main hall's there. The church is there. This is the bit that they've been doing something on. But I'm a bit confused what this building is. Because look at the, it must be like for horses or something. Because look at the size of that door. There's got to be a reason for it. I don't know if I can see anything about it though. I can look through this door. I'm heading for this. But there's also something above the main door which looks very similar to the other one. Now, has this got a ceiling or not? Alright, I don't know if I can get in, but this is the college. Look at that. Where's the roof? Look at those pillars. Now, there's definitely been a fire in here. So this is definitely the college, I reckon. Because it is, compared to the one that looked like a shed, it's very, very grand. Look, they've got all original stones, whether that be from here or the original Abbey in here. I love finding stuff like this because it just gives you the whole picture. Like, I hate going away guessing about things, what came from where. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to walk around I'm not going in there or up there. I'm just going to look at the main bits, the bits of interest in these buildings. Because how grand would it have been in here? What a room this would have been. With those pillars, you don't see pillars like that in any building. It's like something out of Greece or Rome, that, isn't it? Then there's a bit with, there was like a glassed area there, like a classroom. Got the old, really old arch door there as well. Wow, what a place. And then I can't believe the state of the roof. That's crazy, mad. I've come to these side rooms because these feel older, whereas the other bit around the other side had been like modernised. Oh, that takes you to that machinery where we were before. Really old door there as well. Up to the loft there. You can see where there was stairs at one point here, look. Up the edge of there. Oh, in fact, that's just made me think. You know, I said earlier on it looked like there was a lean-to on the side of the building. I don't think it was. I think it was steps up the side of the building. Because it got those metal bits for the edges of the steps on as well. So yeah, that makes more sense. So there were steps up that side of the building. It was probably enclosed. That's why it extended off. So yeah, makes sense. I love it when I can add something up and it makes sense. Right, so the only thing now we've got to do, see these things, I'm sure they were up on the photos from 5 days ago, but they've taken them down. I don't know why. Yeah, the only thing we've got to do now is go to the main building at the front to show you that, which is just over here, and then we'll get out of here. Right, so we're around at the front of the building now. That's that balcony. Oh, that's me. That was my breath. It wasn't a ghost. Yeah, that there is the balcony where it was all falling through. Oh no, that's the spiral staircase. So there must be another balcony somewhere. I don't know where that is there. In fact, I am confused by that now, because that's the spiral staircase, but there was definitely the bit with a balcony on it where I looked through to this side of the building. I can hear a car, but I can't see the lights from one. Got to be careful. Right. Anyway, just thought I'd show you before we'd done. Amazing, amazing place. Such a shame it's in such a state, but I'm so glad I got to show you and tell you the history. And I wish you'd seen it as the sun was going down. The orange glow on the front of this place, it looked wonderful. But because of that alarm going off, I didn't have the chance. Anyway, love you all. I know we've had 2 Abbeys in a row. It's not going to be an Abbey next week, don't worry. But I think this place was more than that. Anyway, love you all. See you later.